Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Elegoo Neptune 4 Max. This is a massive 3D printer on a relatively small budget. I've had some good experiences and some bad experiences with this printer so far. So let's start with the basics. This printer is $470 on Elegoo's website. It features a 420 by 420 by 480 millimeter build volume. Now, because this is a big printer, everything arrives disassembled. You have to assemble it yourself, but the instructions are good and it doesn't take too long. I think it took me about 30 to 45 minutes to assemble everything. It uses a direct drive extruder, which I do like. It has Wi-Fi capability and a few other things. So let's talk about the bed. So the bed on this printer is a magnetic flexible build plate. I love these. They're really nice, especially on big parts, because it has a lot of surface area, which means that surface area does not want to disconnect from the bed normally. So being able to just bend this and pop parts off, I really like. Now it does have 121 point bed leveling. I feel like that's a little overkill for the build volume. I think you get away with like 8 by 8 instead of 11 by 11, but more points is not a bad thing. It just takes longer to do, so I don't really have an issue with it. I just think it's a little overkill for the volume. Alrighty, so we've gone ahead and turned the printer on so we can talk a bit about the touchscreen functionality and some of the other stuff on this printer. So the touchscreen sits on this dock over here. You can move it around, which I really like, because sometimes if I'm sitting here, for example, and it's on the opposite corner, I can't mess with the printer while doing that. But it does have the touchscreen. I can do the bed leveling from here, which I'm not going to do right now. I can go ahead and control the two sets of LEDs that are on here. You have your overhead one up here, which I really like that they added this. And the smaller one that's on the head of the printer, if it would go. It's kind of hard to see with all the other lights in the room, but there's one on the tool head as well. Now, I really like these because in the morning I leave for work around 5:30, which means when I walk past my workroom, if I don't want to turn the light on, I can still see how a print is going. I really like that. It has the Wi-Fi capability. I can control this printer from my computer, my phone, using the Clipper software, I believe is what controls it. I just have to put in this thing's IP address into my browser and it goes straight to the software for this. And here's what the user interface in our browser looks like. You can do everything from change the temperatures on the printer, move the axes, look at the files that are currently loaded onto your USB, and change fan speed, everything like that. I really like being able to do this from wherever I really need to do it from. If I'm at work, I can change it. If I'm at home and just too lazy to get up and go over to the printer, I can change it. It's just nice to have. Another way I can control prints is if I want to use USBs, I can. It takes normal USBs. It also has a USB Type-C port. I have not tried yet, but I have no use for it, so no point in trying. It also has a filament runout sensor up here, which I also really like. This has been a more reliable sensor than the other ones that I've used so far, so I'm pretty happy with it. So here are a few prints that I've done on this machine. They're very nice, but the issues I've had with the machine have kept me from printing anything else on it, and we'll talk about that here in a second. To talk about the things I like, I love how fast this printer is. It's about twice as fast as any of my other large format printers that I've owned. The touch screen is nice. It's easy to control everything from there. I really like the software that's on the touch screen. I like the program, that whatever program it is that is controlling it. It's designed, the user interface is really nice. I love being able to pick it up. Like I said, the filament runout, I really like that. The Wi-Fi printing is awesome. However, there are a few things that have me going absolutely nuts with this printer. And one of them is the sound this thing has been making while printing.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
So yeah, that super loud sound is not ideal, especially when this thing is in my workroom where I'm usually designing putting stuff together or really working on any projects. So having this going while I'm in that room is absolutely impossible for me. I have to stop it, I have to pause it, whatever. Something else that bothers me is Elegoo Cura. It is like normal Cura, but slower. Here's a side-by-side comparison of like moving stuff around and just playing with the menu. You'll see the delay on Elegoo Cura, which the normal Cura does not have. It's like playing or using a slicer, but you have lag like it's a video game. It's weird. I don't like it. It's slow. It's annoying. I don't see why they would make a different program than normal Cura when you can just use normal Cura. Now, another thing that's been bothering me is this printer had bad layer shifts every time I swapped out filament, except for one time. Those layer shifts were getting on my nerves. I can't really stop and swap out filaments confidently. I mean, if I run out of filament, I can try it and hope that I didn't waste the rest of whatever was on the previous spool. But I would not plan to swap filament like I do with my P1P sometimes. And lastly, the internet connectivity on this thing cuts out every now and then, which is not too big of a deal, but it's enough to bother me. I don't think that should be a common issue, especially if part of your big sales pitch for this thing is the internet connectivity. That cutting out can be sometimes annoying, especially if I'm at work or something and I want to check how a print's going or anything like that. So overall, I don't think this is a perfect printer. I think there are some things Elegoo still needs to work on. However, I do think it is good for the price. For the price, this is a decent buy, especially if you don't end up with the noise issue that I had. Especially if you're kind of new to 3D printing and this is your first large format printer, I think you'll be just fine. I would like to see a little more reliability and quality control with what I'm guessing would be the wheels on this printer is making all that noise. So I would like to see them fix that. I think for the speeds that they're saying this printer should be going on their website, they need to be using linear rails instead of these wheels. I don't think these wheels are going to keep up with the speed, and if they do, they're going to wear down very quickly. I really think this should be built on a linear rail system, at least for the X and the Y axis. The Z axis is probably fine the way it is. But yeah, so I have mixed feelings about this printer. If you guys want to see more print reviews on my channel, please let me know. This was my first one. I'm planning to do more as I get printers, but I don't know. We'll see. So thank you guys for watching and hope to see you soon. I should be working on the Kraber video and another Apex video, but it's not the Mastiff. I need to start on the Mastiff again, and I'm sorry I'm late on the Mirage video. See you guys next time.